me see. Okay, let's see how we could do. Welcome again, True Hebrews United. Lord Yeshua. All of a sudden they start playing some music, but anyways, definitely give all honor to Ahaya. Once again, we got Yeshua, the only begotten of the Father. All the ministers across the planet. And I always give my shout out to the minister because it's a hard job to propel people to want to repent from their sin. Hopefully we could get through this area, no disruption. How you doing? Pretty good. It's a hard job to get people to repent from their sin and to come to holiness, especially when a lot of things people want to hold on to and harbor, and you got to let that thing go. So I definitely give honor. It's a hard job. You got to deal with temperaments, you got to deal with people, their financial situations, because you got to be taking care of the Almighty's flock. You have a love for souls more than a basic person, because the average person says that they love souls, but are they willing to sacrifice their own finances, or do they sacrifice all their free time to go out there and save souls? Few are willing to do it, to the point that even Moses didn't even want to do it, you know? He's like, who am I? Or even when the people were rebellious, he's like, man, forget these people. But at the end of the day, he was patient. He said, hey, don't destroy them. You bought me out of the book that you wrote. And that level of love, Almighty, hopefully I could get to that level, because they would have did that to me. I'd be like, go ahead and destroy them, because you gave them the law. You told them, and they wanted to live rebellious and just destroy them. All right, they want to live in sin. But Moses, you know, had love. He came in the likeness of Mashiach. The Almighty gave him the best candidate to be a minister for that great flock. And so I definitely give honor to the ministers. Definitely that. And then the brothers and sisters, because it takes a bit to be saved. It takes something to make it in the kingdom. How you doing? It takes something to keep his commandments, his statutes, his judgments, his precepts, and his ways. So I definitely think that as well. The main thing I wanted to bring up, hopefully it's not too loud. Try to find some spots secluded. It seems like everyone's out today. But the main thing I want to bring up is they had a real ID. You can look it up on the YouTube. It's a real ID. And in like 2020, they want to push that in the state, but more so they're trying to get that worldwide, which I definitely feel is a precursor to the beast system, to where you won't be able to go into any government buildings here unless you have that real ID. And then pretty soon what laws they'll pass no matter where you live. And they're making it to where you can't go into government buildings, which, I mean, as long as you get your passport ahead of time. People in the States, you need to get your passport now. If you don't have a passport, get that stuff now. Even if you never use it, at least you have the ability to leave the country at your own will. And that's power in and of itself, versus you're stuck. Because if you can't go into any government buildings, or you can't get certain things done unless you have this ID, which is retina scan, so no matter where you go, if they label you a terrorist and you leave the country, and you pop up as a terrorist at any country you go because you got that retina scan, and they want to just do whatever to go against the people of the Most High, you're going to be done. So I mean, I would suggest by all means not to get that little real ID and just trying to make it without, but more so, hey, get your preparations. Some of you guys, if you guys don't have 30 days worth of water for your family, 30 days worth of food for your family, you don't know what Mylar and vacuum seal bags, you don't know what water purification tablets is, you're behind the power curve. If you have this $700 phone, but you don't have $700 worth of food in your house, you got a problem. Your priorities is off. Your priorities off, because you could be saved and still not be able to spend your money right. You could be saved and not know how to prioritize. Just because you're keeping the commandments and living righteous does not mean that you're doing what's in the best welfare of your family. You single mothers out there, hey, you got to do what you got to do for your kids. Even if you're not a single mother, but your husband's not proactive, you got to be proactive, because at the end of the day, you guys are all going to suffer. So, hey, if your husband wants to spend his money, blow his money at the casino, or wants to do things he ought not, hey, let that be him. But you make sure you put money aside. When you go grocery shopping, get like 1 or 2 canned foods and whatnot. Get some canned foods. Put it to the side, put it to the side, put it to the side. Get a gallon, put it to the side. You know, no matter what emergency, whether it's an earthquake, tornado, wherever you live, you should always be set up, because to be independent is power. And when you're 18, 19, 20, and you're tired of your mom's rules or your dad's rules, you say, what? I'm gonna get my own place. So you could be independent, so you could do your own thing. So don't set yourself up to be dependent on this government or this world system. Because when this beast system comes out, the people that are unprepared will suffer the most. The people that are unprepared will suffer the most. And there's going to be a lot of believers that say they believe, but when they get to see their kids starving, they'll probably indulge in that beast system. They'll compromise the gospel and they'll indulge in that beast system. And then another situation is, if you're in a situation where there is no food or water, you at least have a month to plan and to pray and to strategize. And you shouldn't make any moves out of desperation, because the moves out of desperation is typically the moves that put you in the most harm's way, because you don't have any more water. So you're going to go out in the danger neighborhood and to try to find water, and you go out and guess what? Daddy didn't come home. We haven't seen him in 3 days. What happened? Because you got robbed or you got killed, and now you left your wife and kids at the place unprotected, and they still don't have no water because you chose not to prepare yourself. So hey, make provisions. Look up that real ID. Look up some vacuum seals, some Mylar bags, some oxygen absorbers, some Mylar bags, some moisture absorbers. Look up some of that stuff. Look up shelf life for foods. I don't care if you look up prepping 101. Look up homesteading. Try to be independent. Try to set up stuff to be independent. Make better decisions. Make every dollar count. Make every dollar count. If you see me, I don't really spend a lot of money on clothes. I'm not going to spend $400 or $500 on no Oakley glasses. I'm not going to spend $700 on a phone where I could just talk and text. I don't need the best camera on my phone. I don't need this $800 for a phone. That's dumb. $300 for a pair of Jordans. That's stupid. That's dumb. Especially in the time we are now, with persecution on its way, you could use that money way better, more wisely. Use that money to where it counts. Make better decisions, and go from there. What else? Yeah. All that's it. And get some life insurance if you can. You never know when you're gonna die. But hopefully that helps some of you guys. You know. You guys got to get it together. My wife made a video. Some of you guys didn't even know what Mylars is. Man, get that stuff together. Get your food, get your stuff together. It's going to be sad that I'm going to see a lot of people perish and suffer simply because they don't prepare. People thinking about getting new cars and like, what are you? I got to stop. Some of you guys know what's about to pop off. And I don't really deal with what's about to pop off in this land, because one, I try to keep my congregation under the radar. I'm not going to be like Pastor Dow blowing it up and whatnot and having M16s and everything. I just share with you guys the little iceberg. Oh, this is a nice little place. I think we should have service here tomorrow, next Sabbath. Let me know what you guys think. Look at that. Man. I probably should have next Sabbath, huh? With the little tree. I kind of like that. This is a little ADD moment. But some of you guys know what's gonna go down. Oh, the lights off. Some of you guys know what's gonna go down, and yet you guys spend your money on fruitless things. So I get it together, get in the game. What's more important? At the end of the day, water and food will always be more important than your phone. When there's no electricity, what are you gonna do with your phone? What is those new Jordans going to do? How are you going to barter with those new Jordans? How are those Jordans going to feed you? How are those expensive Gucci purses and that expensive watch and those Oakley glasses going to feed you and take care of you and your family? How is that shiny car that you got brand new off the lot, or you had to get the rims, or you had to get the new paint job, or you had to do all this stuff? How is that going to help you out? It's not. You got to get back to the basics. So, if you have any questions, 619 501-1375. Look up some homesteading videos to be independent. Learn some crafts. Get it together. Get in the game. You know what I'm saying? Get in the game. Keep standing. Don't drop standards. Shalom.